Qaeda. As one of our mentors, Joe Princiota, says, to identify the perpetrator, first know the crime. So today we focus on the evidence found at the crime scene, the forensic evidence. I still don't have a microphone here, Tyson.
You got to check the switch on there. I think maybe you have one of them off because I'm not getting a signal from you.
All right, I've got a green light. Now I got no light. Still doesn't work. Now I've got green light again.
There's two switches on it.
Yeah, there's a mute. We got it now. Let's turn this one on. The big one. So in 2007, a Scripps Howard Ohio University poll found that 16% of Americans believe that the World Trade Center Twin Towers were brought down by explosives. So let's find out where we are today, right here. How many of us pretty much believe the official story that the Twin Towers were brought down by airplanes because they hit an hour later, in the case of the North Tower, after the jet fuel had exploded and burned? We have structural weakening of the steel columns by fire and a gravitational collapse to the ground. How many of us are there? We're going to do a count. I'll ask you 3 questions. Go like this so I can really see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6, was there 16 over here? No, 15. Okay, thanks. How many of us are unsure? You heard some things. You're here to find out the rest. Usually there's a lot more people that are unsure. Let's just do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 26, 62. And how many of us believe that the Twin Towers were brought down by controlled demolition already? Ooh. The rest of you. Don and Rich, I'm going to ask you to get an overall body count, and then we'll do the math later, okay? So that'll be very helpful. Well, NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, claims that they never found any evidence for explosive controlled demolition. Out of the other side of their mouth, they acknowledge that they never looked for it. How can you find what you're not looking for? So let's everybody agree right now. The official story acknowledges they never looked for explosive demolition in the evidence. Well, thousands of scientists, architects, engineers, and others looked for it, and really, it wasn't hard to find. We've been speaking about it for, in the case of AE 9/11 Truth, for 3 years now, and in 30 American cities, throughout Canada and Europe. We're going to Japan, New Zealand, and Australia this November and December. There's an unlimited opportunity to speak on this subject. You'll find out why. You'll also find out that we're very proud to be key members of the 9/11 Truth movement that's growing by millions every year. And we don't hear about it on the media. It is a grassroots, word-of-mouth movement, and you'll begin to understand why in a moment. As a result, though, we have hundreds of architects and engineers demanding a new investigation. How many architects do we have here today, licensed or degreed? We'll get to the students in a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 architects. And how many engineers? They always outnumber us. 1, 2, 3, even here at Cal Poly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And how many normal people do we? Thank God. All right, that's good news, let me tell you. I've hung out with these guys. Well, just out of curiosity, how many of us have already signed the petition, AE 9/11 Truth? Thank you. That is great news. I hope all the rest of you will today, after you take a look at this information and find out that this is really worth considering, because the growing number of architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth are not conspiracy theorists. We're technical building professionals looking at the science-based forensic evidence found. We don't have theories. We have some theories. We don't have any conspiracy theories, okay? We stick to the science. In fact, I've been a Republican for 20 years, so you can't call me a conspiracy theorist. as prominent engineer from the U.S. Congressional Office of Technology says, first let the technical truths emerge. Then, if necessary, cope with the inevitable conspiracy issues. That's what we're going to be doing today. This is our website, and on the right side are the bullet points of information that we're going to be going rapidly through, but you can take your time and pace through the PowerPoint. There's about 500 slides. We're going to be covering far fewer today, so you can learn a lot more online. And there's videos, technical papers you can look at, and when you're ready, please sign the petition online. How many of you did not get a brochure on the way in today? Go like this. Eric. I need 6 volunteers to help Eric pass out the brochures. It's really important. In the brochure, you'll find a key map to all of the organized structure. So let's have 6 volunteers with the group. Go back and each of you collect 20 brochures from Eric, and we'll pass them out at this time, and I'll try to proceed under the chaos. Let's begin with an overview of the events of that morning on 9/11, so we can get on the same page and find out really what happened. Can you give me more volume, Tyson? Thanks on my voice. That'll be very helpful. I won't have to yell. The myths, the jet impacts, and some sound on the video. So we'll keep the sound on throughout.
Within an hour, 2 of the planes had flown into the enormous steel towers of the World Trade Center, creating fires and eventually toppling them. Dazed by the news, the American public soon believed the fires in the towers had burned so hot they caused the steel frames of the buildings to give way.
Hold your hand up, sorry for the intrusion. If you didn't get a brochure, they're being handed out now. Let's hand them out to everybody.
A myth developed, fed by official sources through the media to a bewildered audience. Elements of the myth. The impact of the airplanes, gallons of burning jet fuel, steel melting, the buildings failing and suddenly imploding. In a mere 10 seconds, 110 stories hurtled earthward, pulverizing into dust. Right from the start, on the street itself, the official story was born.
Come out of nowhere and just scream right into the side of the Twin Tower, exploding through the other side. And then I witnessed both towers collapse, one first and then the second, mostly due to structural failure because the fire was just too intense.
The myth bled into the FEMA report and was
Well, let's just talk about that just a second. I hear people chuckling. Why are we chuckling? Here's a gentleman right off the street, the first one interviewed. Hold your hand if you didn't get a brochure. They're working their way back, from the back to the front, so it's going to work. We need a whole lot more people handing out a whole lot more brochures. Eric, Brian, Rich, everybody back there, just grab 20 brochures each, bring them up front, hand them to the people that are continuing to hold their hand up high. They can't hold them up forever. And I'll need more volume for me, Tyson, if you got it. Do you have it?
It's loud enough, I think.
Yeah.
You can just talk. We can hear it.
I need just a little more. I got to hear myself coming back. Thanks. So he says, I witnessed. You know, who talks like that? Everybody's in shock on the street. And this guy's talking objectively, very well rehearsed. His Fox News hat on, and he's talking, he has the answers. It fell mostly due to structural failure because the fire was just too intense. Who knows that? Fire protection engineers, structural engineers, architects have been arguing about this for years, and nobody had a clue what happened. Well, a few people did. A few more people like him. We'll see.